Today we're taking a little peruse through some of the freakiest monsters that we're very glad are stuck in the silver screen. Number 5. Art the Clown. First entry on this list is also one of the more recent stars to make this list, and will not be the only terrifying clown on this list. I tried to narrow it down to just one, but spooky clowns are just too popular. First up is Art the Clown from the Terrifier series. Art the Clown is a demonic clown possessing supernatural abilities to induce fear in his victims, a whole bag full of tricks, and a love of the game. He seems human at first. Keyword being seems. Probably what makes him so terrifying is you can tell he just loves what he does. Love what you do and you never work a day in your life, I guess. Art never speaks, and I'm glad he doesn't, because truly I don't want to hear a single word he has to say. It only serves to make him scarier though. He mimes his laughter and his screams just like a real horrifying clown would. Art is probably the most vicious, most sick monster on this list. I mean, I can't even describe any of what he does here, and truly I would prefer not to. Know that if you haven't seen the Terrifier movies, and you would like to, these movies are disgusting. People are throwing up in the theaters after seeing the new one, and if it's anything like the first movie, I understand where they're coming from. Subscribe and stick around for way more monster content every single day until Halloween, and then every day after. Number 4. Sam. I have been waiting for a chance to screech about Trick or Treat on this channel. Sam is the main monster of Trick or Treat, an anthology movie collection showing 4 stories of Halloween. And Sam, the little trick-or-treater who appears in all 4 to make sure you follow the rules. Sam, short for Samhain, the Gaelic harvest festival that served as a precursor to modern-day Halloween culture, is the embodiment of the spirit of Halloween. No, not Spirit Halloween, the costume outlet store that's currently occupying that abandoned Target in your local rundown mall. The spirit of Halloween, like the avatar of the entire holiday. He presents himself as an adorable little trick-or-treater, wearing a little sack hood with a big stitched smile, cute little footy pajamas, and a big bag of candy. So what's this guy doing on our list? He's a sweetheart. Well, you don't get to be the avatar of an ancient pagan festival without having a few scary tricks up your big pajama sleeves. Sam might look like a sweet little kid, but inside that sack is razor blades, and he's capable of all manner of sick Halloween tricks to unleash against those who won't play nice, ranging from teleportation, pyrokinesis, shapeshifting, and he even dabbles in a little amateur necromancy. When you get that burlap sack off, under his mask is a disfigured, rather disgusting looking pumpkin head, and from what little we see of him taking damage, it seems like his insides are made of pumpkin as well. Sam's a bit of a sadist when it comes to his work. Seems like he really enjoys himself. He appears to ensure the rules of Halloween are followed properly. He does not take kindly at all to those who don't obey the traditions of Halloween. I'll spell them out for you just so you don't make any mistakes and cross them. Number 1. Always give candy to trick-or-treaters. Number 2. Always wear a costume. Number 3. Never extinguish the flame of a jack-o'-lantern before midnight. And number 4. Respect the dead. So long as you follow that, Sam should have no problem with you, and you won't have to deal with his retribution. Number 3. Pennywise. Coulrophobia is one of the more common phobias out there, and if you don't already immediately recognize it, it's the fear of clowns. A recent polling of Americans revealed that 42% of all American citizens said that they were terrified of clowns. And here's a little fun game you can play at home. You want proof of this? Go Google clowns right now, pop into images, and then tell me how many of those clowns are funny looking circus clowns, and tell me how many of those clowns look like they're gonna eat you. I think you'll find the ratio is about 3 to 1. Well, we can probably trace a good amount of that well-deserved clown-based anxiety back to Stephen King and his terrifying dancing clown, Pennywise. Now, the more recent It film was a massive mega hit, and I'm sure you saw it. But if you didn't, it is the story of a shape-shifting demonic clown who appears every 27 years to feed off the fear and suffering of the townspeople of Derry, Maine. Now, whether it's the Tim Curry version or the Bill Skarsgård incarnation, both are utterly spine-chilling. Pennywise can take the form of just about anything that he thinks will scare you, from lepers to spiders, but his favorite seems to be that of an old clown. It's unassuming and perfect for luring in his younger victims. Pennywise kind of kickstarted a really unpleasant viral trend in 2016, if you remember that, when there was a string of scary clowns that would just be hanging out. Do you remember that? When we thought that that was the weirdest thing that was ever going to happen to us as a people, was just seeing scary clowns everywhere? We were so innocent back then, so naive. Number 2, Sadako. Oh, we love scary videos here. I mean, that's like the whole bread and butter of what I do is scary videos. I like to think I can handle just about everything thrown my way, but the videotape from The Ring, I think I would give a pass. The mysterious tape in The Ring is said to cause the viewer to die in 7 days after watching, where you'll be hunted by Sadako or Samara, depending on whether or not you watched Ring or The Ring. I'll keep calling her Sadako since that's the real name. Sorry, I like the Ring a lot. The Grudge was great too, but the original Japanese ones are a little bit better, and this pedantic horror elitist is writing this script. Sorry. Sadako is a girl with a latent psychic ability who is drowned in a well by either a doctor or her brother to try and suppress her powers. Well, it didn't work much. And that was a little pun about wells. I'm sorry. Anyway, it didn't work at all, and Sadako returned as a supernatural force to be reckoned with, more powerful than ever, kind of an Obi-Wan Kenobi deal. She uses her powers to create a cursed videotape containing her. Sadako's rules are very simple, dead simple. Do not watch the tape. Whatever you do, not even a second of it. If you do, you're doomed and there is no chance of escape. She'll find you in 7 days, she'll crawl right out of the TV screen, and she will hunt you down. Sadako doesn't say too much. She really just outlines that don't watch this thing in 7 days. There's just something about Sadako or Samara that's inherently terrifying. The long black hair covering her face, that emotionless stance, the way she crawls out of that well. Seeing her crawl out of the TV when I was a kid was probably one of the scariest things I had ever seen at the time. I don't know about the rest of you, but the first time I saw The Ring, I was genuinely convinced that I was also going to get targeted by her for watching that movie. I was more than a little sure that it might not actually be a movie and had been a real thing, which is probably a sign that I was way too young to be watching that sort of thing. So for that sake, I am thankful that it's just a movie and she's just a movie monster. Number 1, The Shape. It felt wrong to not give a shout out to Halloween's biggest monster. The Shape, the boogeyman, Michael Myers himself. First appearing in John Carpenter's genre-codifying 1979 iconic hit Halloween, Myers quickly became the gold standard for horror movie bad guys, almost overnight. Without The Shape, we wouldn't have Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, or any number of the usual suspects with a mask and a knife. Michael's empty stare, lifeless mask, and his chilling synth soundtrack that accompany him are all synonymous with Halloween, quite literally. Now, if you're a fan of the movies, you probably know this, but it's too fun a bit of trivia to not slip in. Michael Myers' iconic emotionless mask is a mask of beloved Canadian actor William Shatner turned inside out and painted white. It helps him boldly go where no lunatic has ever gone before. Now, while the lore of the Halloween movies gets a little bit too complex to discuss here, including multiple retcons, alternate timelines, and reboots, and one bizarre Rob Zombie outing where he's a hobo, all 12 outings of Michael agree that he is evil incarnate. Why does Michael relentlessly stalk and hunt Jamie Lee Curtis? Why does he go on horrific sprees every Halloween? Because he's the boogeyman. Michael rides the line between supernatural and regular natural horror, which makes him all the more terrifying. We never get any insight into why he does what he does. Is he just an obsessive stalker with a crush and an incredible pain tolerance? Or is he possessed by something darker, something malevolent that drives him to do what he does? Is he even human, or does he just look like one? Can he be stopped, or is he a force of nature? Like I said, as the series go on, they do try to answer some of these questions and give some options for his backstory, and some of them are way less cool than others. But the original Michael Myers and the one from the 2018 sequel are the Halloween monster. The idea of someone or something that's been watching you, living in your walls, emerging from the shadows to strike you down, and no one will ever even know why it did it is just horrifying. Michael feels kind of real enough, you know? He strikes those intrusive fears we have every day, like, did I leave the door unlocked? Could someone get in? What was that noise? I'm actually starting to hype myself up a bit here. I gotta stop. I'm freaking myself out. I would genuinely love to talk about the Halloween movies, so please drop a comment down below about what your favorite Michael Myers movie is. I probably like the first one, Rob Zombie's second one, and the 2018 one best. That's all from me, my ghouls and goblins. This one was an absolute blast to make, and I'll see you in the next one.